Okay.
Yes, sir.
Other join?
Yeah. Sujit, you can continue.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, if you have already had any startup or you already had any tie-up for certain projects related to defense, you got stuck up. So at the end of the discussion, I will share my number. You can directly contact me. You can come over to Delhi. I can facilitate your meetings with Department of Production, or we can call on heads of line directorate and have one-on-one meeting.
Yeah,
Actually,
now, Sudesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you.
Rest, please hold on. Let me ask. I got 2 points, Sudesh. Let me first compliment you as an EB officer for holding such an august office. Okay, 2 points I have. You see, we have got adult tinkering labs. Okay, which are
Yes.
established in 660 districts. So my point to you, Sudesh, was can we have one lab in our Sainik school, adult tinkering lab, ATL,
Okay.
right?
Uh,
Point number two. I'll ask 2 questions, Sudesh. Point number 2, there are a couple of starters which have approached me, and they are the ones, for example, one of the startup which is there, which is simulating how a training on a submarine or a helicopter can be given. And they wanted to approach defense innovation hub so that they can do the work for the defense as such, right? Can you tell me the procedure? These are the 2 queries which I have, Sudesh. Thank you.
okay.
Sujit,
Sir.
sorry to interrupt. Before you proceed, okay, let me let's say bring it to Maisale sir's notice that this ATL, that is Atal Tinkering Lab. I'm working on the project, okay, and I have collaborated with the vendor. Okay, so I have requested them to facilitate to get the grant from central ministry, okay, so that the similar kind of lab can be opened in Sainik School Satara. So I'm working on it, okay, and it is very possible because my project in Pune, that is okay, on the same line. So we are trying to help the school to get the ATL lab established in our school. Yeah. So go ahead.
Shashikant, I like to you the guy who's in charge of this. The guy who's in charge of this is Ramanan Ranganathan.
Yes.
Whom Sudesh must speak across also. Once push is given, your task will be facilitated in this, Shashikant.
Yeah. Thank you.
We are fortunate. Presently, we are fortunate to have joint secretary training under whom all science school, military school, RMCs. This is only one aspect of his overall responsibility. He is also an ex-student, ex-science school Riva, and RRM himself heads the annual general body meeting for all science schools. We have already initiated a process to include AI as a syllabus as per CBSE guidelines for science schools, all science schools. So not for this academic year, from next academic year onwards, artificial intelligence will be a compulsory subject just like ECMB for all science schools. Your suggestion taken for this Atal Incubation Center, whatever correspondence you already had, you can email me and we will push for it forward.
Yeah, good. That's nice.
Coming over to Maisale sir's point, basically defense PSUs are rogues, whether it is HL, BL, VDML, and defense production is not keen on privatization of defense industry.
I agree.
Because of this Niti Aayog's guidelines, the IDEX has come up. It's a registered company. IDEX head office, it's a registered company under Companies Act, IDEX, and its office is just next to Delhi Metro, in front of Delhi Railway Station on 6th floor, and it is right now headed by 2 EME officers. They are of director level, who are retired from core of EME, and the way I covered it in the presentations, not only the project but even for the prototype, the funding is being catered for in this company. And as I stated, the defense PSUs have been told to share 2% of their profit and 25% of their CSR funds for the startups. And they will all be controlled by these IDEX. IDEX will be manned by the policymaker for IDEX will be DIO, and DIO is has a board of directors in which Air Chief, Vice Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Chief of Army, and Joint Secretary option. They are the members. And with the with RRM's intervention, if the project has any suitability, we can even call the IDEX directors and present them the case.
So whom do we contact, Sudesh? Whom do we contact?
Sir, basically, you can, I will share my mail with you. I will link you both the directors of IDEX. It's a, though it's a registered company, it is being controlled by Ministry of Defense. And as I stated already, many the IDEA incubators type has been done with different IITs, and even certain colleges of repute can also be IDEA incubators. Even in IDEA incubators, the salaries of those who will be looking at the project development at different stages, even their salaries are defined. It's a comprehensive paper. If you can share your mail, sir, I will exactly tell you how the
Sujit, what I'll do, I'll share your contact with sir, and sir's contact I'll share with you.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randir. Thanks, Ratan. God bless.
Can we start with?
Yeah, we can start with the next session. Yeah, please. You can share your screen. Others, please mute your microphones.
Okay, inline is agriculture sector. The PS is fortunately, just to share, PS is again Mr. Shinde. He's also from Satara. He's MTech in agriculture. So I keep meeting him often for different schemes for the North Goa constituency. Presently, this, if you all can see, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, as per PMO guidelines, have come out with a fresh book that is state-specific strategies for doubling farmers' income by 2022. So this is one of the PMO's KRAs, and ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, has come out with a big book. I have got a soft copy of it, and how they have profiled and done research on every district with its weather conditions, with its soil type, and how with different interventions and different technologies, there is a possibility for the farmers to double their income. So this book has been recently published. I got a hard and soft copy both of it. I don't know whether it has reached to the farmers. Basically, the Agriculture Ministry has two components, and one is Department of Agriculture Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. They are the ones who are actually have different schemes under them. The other one is dealing with the research.
Can you share the screen, Sujit, so that like say people can, I can like say the recording is going on. So once you share the screen and presentation, so automatically it can be like shared with other people who are not attending.
Okay. Am I right now not sharing my screen?
No, you are not.
I'll just share. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, please.
Actually, I'm not getting the option of sharing the screen.
You must be seeing the like say share screen menu at the like say below the screen. Share screen.
Share screen, yes.
Yeah. So click on that. You will be able to share your desktop. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely fine.
So Agriculture
Yeah.
Ministry, again, it is one of the biggest ministries with a budget of 1,42 crores. They have got two components: Department of Agriculture, Cooperation, Farmers Welfare. This is the department which deals with different schemes, and the other one is Agriculture Research and Education, which has come with a fresh paper on doubling the farmers' income. Also, they come out with agriculture statistic at a glance. So this annual report is actually an eye-opener. And if different farmers groups can go through that, they can actually take a wise decision in terms of what to grow, because it gives certain aspects of projection. In suppose you this time you take rather than this crop, if you take this crop, then rather than otherwise, for example, you only take production of garlic, and there is no overproduce. So statistics is an important factor which has been missing, and that know-how is not with the farmers. And at times, then they just have to throw out because in the mandis they don't get the suitable rates. So right now, though I have got the book of paper by ICR for the strategies for doubling farmers' income. Once I get the annual report, I will share with this group. Present government has come out with the scheme of eNAM. It's a national agriculture market. It's a pan-India electronic trading portal. So which will network existing APMCs, mandis, to create a unified national market for agriculture commodities. So what happens at times that we have very high rates of commodity in Delhi, whereas the same is being thrown out in say Nasik. So using the digital technology, all the mandis have been linked, and basically its vision is to promote uniformity in agriculture marketing by streamlining procedures across and removing information asymmetry between the buyer and the seller, and promoting real-time price discovery based on actual demand and supply. So even there is a web portal and there is an app for that, and it is recommended that all farmers should actually download this rather than being at the mercy of mandis, wherein they are told to sell items at a throwaway price. Second scheme of present government is National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. So basically, as you have seen, you must have heard of soil health card. And also private sector can come into having a lab in which soil health cards can be issued. This testing can be done. Also some productivity measures for rain-fed areas by focusing on integrated farming or water efficiency. Regarding the nitty-gritties of any of these schemes, if you are interested, you can WhatsApp me. I can give the exact pamphlet, the PDF file for the same. Right now, I'm only introducing because every PDF file is about 180 pages regarding under the scheme how a particular farmer from say Dhule can benefit. So under this NSMA soil health cards, even for forest, for the tribals, how they can get into the agriculture and how they will be funded for the same. Then Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, there is one scheme. Then National Center for Organic Farming. So to encourage organic farming, again there is a scheme. And third one is Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. So accord high, the present government is committed to accord high priority to water conservation and its management. So the scheme has been formulated, which says that Har Khet Ko Pani. So the details are available on internet also. If anybody is interested, I can give the PDF file for the same, that how a single farmer can apply for the scheme and get the fund wherein the issue of water to his farm is resolved. So this scheme, they should have minimum 50 farmers and at least 50 acres. So we see recently that every generation there is a dispute of agricultural land, and all farmers have become marginalized. And a farmer with say 1 acre of land is not able to do mass production and also benefit for the same. So there 10,000 such clusters are envisaged to come up in next 3 years, and in this per acre 20,000 rupees will be funded by the government to encourage cluster farming under this has two dual aims. Basically, it will not have fertilizers and pesticides. They want to encourage organic farming and also people to do community farming. So each group will get about 10 lakh rupees per year to get into the organic farming. Next scheme is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So this is basically that at times due to floods, at times due to excessive rains or no rains, yeah, some attack by some pests, the farmers lose out on their thing. So this is assured money. So this will give an insurance coverage and financial support to the farmers in the event of failure of crops. Also to stabilize the income, ensure that there is always a regular credit flow. This also PDF file. Anyone is interested, I can share with him regarding how one can apply for it. What is the procedure? Gramin Bhan Dharan Yojana. So Bhandaran Yojana. So basically, we always see that at times farmer is not in a capacity to store the grains, and he just goes to the mandi and sells it at whatever price possible. So we do have certain bhandaras, or we can say godowns in the district place. There is a State Warehousing Corporation, then there is the Food Corporation of India. But at the village level, there are no stores. So to promote, it also has dual purpose: to promote grading, standardization, and quality control of agricultural products, and prevent distress sale. Distress sale is, since it doesn't have any space to store it, he immediately sells it. Secondly, against the stored food grains, there is a credit facility also. So he can avail a bank loan against it. Again, coming over to the livestock insurance scheme. So at times, under the livestock also the poultry industry comes, not only the cows and buffaloes. So in case there is a death due to flooding, the way it happened in Kolhapur, and many cows and buffaloes died. So under this insurance schemes, they can get the entire cost of the livestock. We know that certain breeds of cows and buffaloes cost 60 to 80,000. So by paying a very minimum amount, the farmers can insure their livestock also. Coming over to the fisheries, we have two parts. One is the fishing in sea, that is sea, and one is freshwater fishing. So there are two programs primarily in this. One is the training, one is funding for the seeds, and for marketing. The details I am again coming. I already have to cover other two ministries, so details I will share with the PDF files. Then we have in the Western Maharashtra, if we travel in Raigad, Ratnagiri, Sindhudurg, we have a lot of fishermen villages. Today also they live in abysmal poverty. So to have them a constructed mandi, a community hall, even to keep their catch, or even to store it for deep freezing, there are subsidized schemes with the agriculture ministry. There is one fund for micro irrigation, and already government has allocated rupees 5,000 crore for the same. Because many farmers cannot afford deep irrigation. They are only marginal farmers, and the potential for it is to take it 7 times. So, say for example, presently only 10 million hectares of farms are under micro irrigation. The potential is to 70 million hectares. One of the aspects which farmers are missing out is marketing their produce, and also of inspection, so that big marketing firms can buy their in bulk, especially food grains. So there is a directorate of marketing and inspection, and just to tell everyone that the AgMark laboratories, central AgMark laboratories at Nagpur region, and the regional labs are is at Mumbai, and this agency has its office in Nasik, Ahmedabad, Rajkot, Surat. It's not Margao, it's Malegaon, and Pune and Sangli. So basically, even the colleges or students, not only the farmers who have to sell the produce, can do research work in that, or under this scheme of funding is available to train the concern in agricultural marketing. So what the farmers miss out, and always they depend on mandis, if they get training under the same from these Directorate of Marketing Inspection, it will benefit them. Scope for today's discussion that you can get into the soil testing labs. It has already government has already allowed private sector to come and establish the labs and give the soil health cards. Then the IT solutions, being consultants for different schemes, because most of the farmers are still illiterate, and though the mobile has penetrated, but they cannot keep the follow-up of scheme and get the grant for them. So one person, even if he covers one tehsil and does the consultancy for these different schemes, wherein these money which is lying in the government treasury reaches the final beneficiary, they also can get the employment, and suitably the insurance scheme for the livestock, insurance scheme for the farm produce, the scheme for establishing godowns at the village level can reach the desired target population. Any questions?
Sir, benefits to sugarcane producers?
Sugarcane already is actually we have a surplus sugarcane sugar production. Most of the cooperative sector, cooperative farming encouraged sugar, encouraged it. Right now we have no market to sell the processed sugar. So I have not come across any new scheme for schemes are basically to encourage. So if you would have seen that, and secondly to ensure some stable flow. So I have covered 10 important schemes which will directly affect the farmers, and basically they reduce their dependency on the mandis, and encourage freshwater fishing, and encourage establishment of godowns where at the village level, where farmers can keep their produce for long till the time they get a suitable price. Also, e-mandi, the one e-NAM which I said, that is basically national agriculture market. So,
Sujit, there is one question from Mr. Digvijay Kubal. He is asking, let's say, is there any scheme for cashew processing and grading?
yes, I covered 10 major schemes for specific producers. There are already different cooperatives. For cashew producing, I will forward you the details. I have it. With me.
What you can do, Sujit, like say whatever like say scheme related document you have, and even like say initially you said like you have document related to different districts about like say doubling their income. Okay, the scheme which is being announced by the Prime Minister.
Yes.
Yeah, PDF file. If you can share it with me, so I can pass it on to all the like say people who are interested in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do
So
that.
we can go ahead with the next session then.
May I ask one question regarding insurance scheme for the livestock?
Okay.
It's basically the livestock insurance. How do we approach? Basically, the procedure. Do we approach to the block officer or directly to the bank or insurance companies? Because they say, for example, a live example I'm giving for buffalo and goats. They say, no, sir, we don't cover. And then the procedure is the problem. We don't know. So could you just explain how it works?
Okay. I have a PDF file for that. I will just open it. Before that, I will cover Ayush Ministry. I can
Sure,
I will take it
sure.
at the
Sure. Thank you.
We only had Ministry of Health. The present government has established a new ministry, and in last budget they had allocated 2 crores for the same. Ministry of Ayush.
झाले आणि परत
Hello.
नाही 3 वर्षापासून जे लोक काम करतात तिथं त्यांना द्यायला
हे आता
Hello.
Just a minute. Hello, just a minute. Yeah, someone was murmuring. So yeah, fine. You can go ahead.
So this Ministry of Ayush was established last time. The budget of it now it has been doubled. So under this, certain new developments. Yoga Certification Board has been established by Ministry of Ayush for certification of yoga professionals and accreditation of yoga institutions and personal certification body. So what used to happen? We used to have certain gurus who used to do yoga. Then we used to have certain books published on yoga, but there was no fixed syllabus or no standardization body to standardize it. So this after the establishment of this board, UGC has established yoga department in 6 central universities, and finally framed the syllabus for BSc, MSc, and PhD programs. So all those who are from different colleges or different autonomous educational institutes can apply for the same to introduce yoga course in BSc, MSc, and PhD levels. The benefits I will cover later on. Then there is already a national eligibility test in yoga for lectureship and research fellowship has been put in place. So it's a NET test. So for these colleges, again, the individuals will apply for it. And once they qualify, they can become the certified teachers in this all colleges and institutes. Ministry of External Affairs under Indian Council for Cultural Relations now has started deputing yoga teachers to Indian missions. So we have embassies in all the countries. So also a MOU has been done with MBA wherein literature in different languages, for example, German, French. So there is a scope for translators too. So if they can publish videos in this respective language, foreign languages, they can publish books related to the certified BSc, MSc or PhD level in different languages. The Ayush Ministry funds for the same. Already, Indo-China College for Yoga has been established in China, and there is a proposal to have a yoga college in each country. So there is a scope for all these teachers. What we do generally, we only do BSc, MSc in physics, chemistry, maths. So this is one aspect wherein they can go as cultural representatives in different embassies. They can go as yoga teacher in different embassies, and they can also go as teachers in different colleges in different countries. A MOU was done with NCERT, and Yoga Olympiad for students has been started. Yoga has been made compulsory for all paramilitary forces. That is CRPF, BSF.
Sujit, can you share your the Ayush screen, because let's say your old screen is available. Okay, is displayed.
Which one, sir? First screen. This one.
Your like a new screen. Okay, of Ayush is not being displayed. Your agriculture scheme related presentation scheme like is being displayed.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, now it's okay. Yeah, thank you.
So basically, just a recap, a certification board has been established. The syllabus have been framed already, and different colleges and universities, basically autonomous universities, can apply for these programs, conduct these courses, and there is a huge requirement of yoga certified teachers in different paramilitary forces training, and colleges being established in partnership with different universities of other countries. The Apex Yoga Teaching Institute is Morarji Desai Institute of National Morarji Desai Institute of National Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga. Then with PMO, the awards on Independence Day have also been established. This year on 15th August, awarded for people who have done some substantial work in yoga. There is a scheme for grant in aid for Yoga Wellness Center. So basically, if any individual intends to have a Yoga Wellness Center, as per the detailed scheme of things, 50% of amount is being funded by Ayush. Also, there is one more scheme for 50-bedded integrated Ayush hospital, including yoga. For hospitals, basically the aim during the last parliamentary budget, the last bill to be passed was of Ministry of Ayush. 2 bills were passed, and the aim is to take hospitals to tehsil level, one hospital each in each tehsil, to encourage that the Ayush Ministry has a seeded fund. So eligible people who are meeting QRs as per the SOP can apply for this. Also, NCT has already established curriculum for yoga in school syllabus and made it compulsory. So all the more reason for colleges to look for it and introduce it in as their BSc, MSc, and PhD level programs. This is just a generic. Everybody is aware that UNESCO has inscribed yoga in the list of representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. For all the details, you can go to Ayush research portals. This is primarily for anybody who is interested in doing any research work. Presently, we don't have quantified or codified methodology for studies with Ayurveda, Unani. So to have systematic study of testings, samplings, preparing medicines with correct combinations and getting their results. So the already published works are on this portal, www.ayushportal.nic.in. Also, the published work is available there. For research also there is a scheme, and anybody who's keen on doing certain research and has got certain established credentials in either of these streams of alternative medicine can approach their website, or I will also share the PDF for the same. Also, just like allopathy, the intent is that all the terminologies have to be standardized. What happens that you go to Tamil Nadu, you go to Kerala, the same for same medicine the term is different. So because in tradition of Ayurveda is thousands of years in southern states specifically. So all across India the terminology will be only one. So the portal for it is already existing. So different prescribers for these alternative or preventive medicines can access that in utilize in their usage. These are few of the research centers which have been established, and anybody who intends to do the research can take the fellowship admissions in this. One is Central Council for Research in Indian Medicine and Homeopathy. Another one is Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Science and Composite Drug Research Center. Also, different organizations, basically social organizations who wants to conduct yoga fest or utsav on yoga day, or national level Ayurveda Arogya fair, or we have a thing called as Ayurveda Parva, which lasts for a month. Then also Ayush industry cluster. Then scheme for acquisition, cataloging, and digital publication of textbooks and manuscripts, and scheme for health public health initiative. So under this, you can see their website. The details are available on the net. You can download the PDF and apply for it. There is one more scheme for promotion of information, education, and communication in Ayush, wherein if you are, I had already mentioned about that. If you are if you have expertise in Japanese, you can convert all the literature, and even to publish it, the Ayush Ministry has a fund. Other ministries you can just go through other schemes.
So let's
I have to share actually.
Yeah.
I'll just share one more thing.
Because we have left out with 1 minute for this session, particular slot. Okay, we can rejoin and let's say we can start. But then meantime you can work out. Yeah.
I think we will rejoin, sir. Right.
Okay. No issue.